Jumping right into the haircut, we're going to use our 2-guard closed here, and we're going to go around the entire side of the head, clearing out all the bulk, making sure we're not cutting too high into the hair. I'll do this by bringing my clippers right off the side of the head. This will give us a nice clean canvas to work with. Now that I've cleared the bulk, I'll go in with my clippers, no guard lever open, and I'll set my first guideline right at the midway point. After I've set my guideline, I'll go on to my 0 guard lever open, which is a 1.5, and I'm bringing this up halfway between my guideline and the ridge line. Instead of making another transition line, you want to start to spread the fade. Keep in mind at the very top we're at a 2, and the goal here is to work our 1.5 into the 2. Now that we've softened the middle section and brought that down to a 1.5, I'll start to work on spreading the fade by using my 0 guard closed, halfway then open. As I open my lever, I'll fade higher. It's important to remember your levels for each side of the head. You always want to do the same thing on all sides of the head, including the back. Another way to think about this without being too technical is just spreading the fade, but the main goal is that the fade is perfectly even on all sides. Once I spread the fade, I like to go in and erase the transition line entirely. Here I'm using my clippers with my lever opened and just scooping away that transition line, being careful not to push the fade too far back. that the fade is mostly finished, I'll start to go around the edges of the entire haircut and do some cleanup. Here with my lever halfway, going around the ears, tapering out the neck area, and tightening any areas that need tightening. Cleaning up the edges to the haircut gives a nice tapered out appearance. All around, it really makes the shape of the overall haircut stand out. Don't stop at just the bottom of the neck and sides. You also have to think of the ridgeline. Here I'm going around with my 1 guard lever 3/4 of the way open and just making sure the natural part is as clean as possible, as well as the rest of the ridgeline. This also helps with the overall look and shape to the haircut. After I finish with my trimmers around the edges, I'll go back and just taper out the back a little bit more. This will add another element to the fade as well as erase the bottom line that was created by my trimmers. Onto the shear work. Here what I like to do is cut from the front to the back, removing the necessary length In this case, it's going to be about 1/4 to 1/2 inch initially. For this part, you don't want to take too much length just because you will end up taking more once you start to cross cut the hair. For this part here, I'm just cutting whatever is hanging over the sides. For a comb over style, we don't want to see anything hanging over. For that, I'm using shear over comb and cutting straight off the side of the head, making sure that I'm cutting parallel with the ridge line. Here we're just cross-cutting the hair, making sure the vertical sections are nice and even. For the straight razor edge up, we're just going around using short, quick strokes. Notice how I'm stretching the skin. This particular client has very soft skin, so it's important that you use your fingers to stretch it out so it's nice and tight. This will prevent you from cutting or irritating his skin. Now just finishing off the haircut, I'll throw in some pomade. This is just going to help me check the length of the hair on the top to make sure we cut it at the right length and there's nothing that's too long. And the final cut, as you can see, Everything turned out exactly how we were going for. This almost reminds me of Peaky Blinders. Love this haircut. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. I put a lot of effort and work and time into these videos, and I plan on continuing to make them and hopefully getting better in the future. So till then, I'll see you in the next one.